Okay, so today you're going to be working on what's called a photo montage. So this is something that you'll be designing in Photoshop, and you're going to have a little bit of creative control over what your overall project looks like or your end product looks like. You can make a movie poster like seen here in the example, or you can choose to do something that's more personal. So if you wanted to do something about your favorite hobby, like maybe if you're into basketball and you wanted to do something with like your favorite players and teams, or if you're into fashion design and so you wanted to do something with maybe some of like your favorite type of clothing or whatever, or something like that. But what you're going to need for it are 10 photos. So just like it says in the activity here, you'll need 10 or more images, and you're going to be converting them or changing them into one overall image, kind of like we see here in the example. So the first thing you'll need to do is decide on what you're going to actually do it on. So what's going to be your overall theme or what it is that you're trying to communicate. And then secondly, you'll need to actually go and find some pictures to download. So for this project, it's okay for you to borrow pictures from the web to do that, or you can use your own personal pictures depending on what you're doing. Okay, so just so you know how to set it up in Photoshop, you're going to go to File, New, and I'm going to go ahead and name this Photo Montage. It's kind of like a collage. The difference between a montage and a collage is that with a montage, we're actually going to merge them together so they look like one image, as opposed to a collage where you can see kind of the edges around it. With a montage, you won't. Okay, so depending on if you want it landscape or portrait, you want it a standard sheet size, which is 8.5 by 11. So if you want it to go long way, you'll have your width 8.5 and your height will be 11. If you want it to go landscape, which is across that way, you would flip that. So 11 inches for the width and 8.5 for the height. Your resolution is going to be 300, and for color mode, we're going to leave it in RGB and our background white. And then just hit OK. All right. So anyway, so now I have my kind of blank background. And really the tool that you're going to be using for this is your layer mask tool. So I'm going to go ahead and gather some images and to bring in. Okay. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention when you're gathering your pictures, let's say for instance I was doing something on the Bulls and I wanted to, that was my theme or whatever, you want to make sure the pictures that you pull up, let me look for Michael Jordan, the best basketball player of all time. If I wanted to get a picture, you want to make sure you're getting something that's of good quality, because if you get like a little small picture, for instance like this one, the resolution when you run your mouse over it, it says 280 by 350. When I go to pull that up in Photoshop, it's going to be really small, and if I try to make it big, it's just going to look blurry. So you definitely want something that's in like the 500 or above. So like this one would be fine, the 640 by 400. This one would be okay, kind of borderline. This one would be good, the 800 by 600. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to the resolution, to make sure that you're getting a file that you can actually use. Okay, so so anyway, now that I'm in Photoshop, I'm going to go ahead and just first I'm going to put a background here. So I'm going to just color a background. Now you're welcome to bring in a picture for your background, or you can design your own. For this one, I'm just going to kind of throw something together real quick. Just because I'm in a quick kind of mood. So anyway, I'm just going to design a background kind of real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, actually, I don't want those colors. I just remember what I'm using, and I don't want those colors. Okay, so then I'm just going to start bringing in my pictures. The quickest way, or I should say the easiest way to do this one is just to simply go to File and then Place, and then you're going to start selecting pictures. So I'm just going to use some pictures I have on here of my kids I have somewhere. Yeah, I'll just use these snow pictures. Oh, wait, not those. Let me find some pictures. Alright, so I'm going to just start grabbing some pictures. I'm going to grab this first one to start with. So when you bring it on, you'll need to, resize it. So I'm just dragging this in. I hold down my shift key so I don't lose too much of the aspect ratio. And then once you have it the size that you like it, you'll leave it there. Now remember, with the montage, we don't want to have the edges like we see here. It should look blended into the background because it should look like it's all one photo. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do is actually convert this over to a layer mask so that way I can soften the edges. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to Layer, Layer Mask, and then Reveal All. Okay, and then remember, with Layer Mask, you're going to need black and white. Those are your colors. So black will erase it or hide it, and then white will bring it back or reveal it. Okay, so you'll need your paintbrush tool, which is right here, the brush tool. And wow, my brush is really big, so I'm going to resize that here, and you'll resize it based on what you need. I don't want it that small, but maybe like here. Okay, and then what you want is to make sure your hardness is turned all the way down, because we want soft edges. That's what's going to give it that montage look, kind of like what we saw in our example, are some kind of soft edges. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start hiding the white so that way we don't see it. So wherever there's an edge, I'm going to start slowly kind of dragging it away. Because I want it to blend in like it's all one picture. Alright, so alright, so now you can't really tell where the edges are, where they begin and where they end. And in a montage you can rotate and do whatever you want to make it kind of like a collection. And then you would just start doing your next one. So whatever that next picture is going to be, wow, I really don't have anything to work with here. I'm just going to start bringing in some pictures. Hopefully yours looks a lot better than mine. Again, remember, you want to go to Layer, Layer Mask, and then Reveal All. Grab my brush tool. I'm going to make this one go under this one. Alright, so then I would just keep going from there. So just keep following the steps until you get your collage like you want it. You can add text, of course, by using the text tool. And then when you're finally finished, the copy that you want to submit to me is a JPEG. So you're going to go to File, Save As. And then, of course, keep your Photoshop copy, because that's what you can actually edit. And then the one that you're going to turn into me is going to be a JPEG. So you're going to hit this drop down arrow. You're going to choose the very first JPEG that just simply says JPEG, and then you're going to hit save and then click OK. All right, and that's it.